As a young kid, I spent most of my evenings watching Disney movies on VHS with my mom. Those memories mean a lot to me, and for that reason, Disney holds a special place in my heart. As I started to grow up and dive deeper into gaming, I fell in love with the Final Fantasy franchise. The love of JRPGs that started with Pokemon grew even stronger when experiencing the emotional highs and lows brought on by Final Fantasy VII. What started off as possibly one of the strangest gaming collaborations has grown into a massive franchise with a dedicated following. Kingdom Hearts absolutely fascinated me when I was a child, but I wasn't able to get the full experience until recently. See, we didn't have a ton of money growing up, and I was always a Nintendo fanboy, owning the N64 and later the GameCube. Even when I finally got a PlayStation 2 late in the console's life cycle, it was still the blockbuster era, with monthly game rentals if I was lucky, and only a full game purchase on Christmas or my birthday. When renting the first Kingdom Hearts game, I was never able to get past the halfway point in my 1-week rental period. A common misconception is that Kingdom Hearts is a game for kids, but the vanilla version of the game is way too difficult for that to be the case. The challenging boss fights were too much for me, and I didn't have the perseverance needed to re-rent the game and get through them. In fact, I think the best experience I could have had with this game as a child would have been watching my older brother or a friend of mine play through it, because like a good Disney movie, this story is best shared with the ones you care about. Kingdom Hearts is without a doubt an adventure game, but there are definitely a ton of role-playing game mechanics. You have a traditional Square Enix leveling system, and right off the bat you are given choices that will impact how you play the game. These choices start with your weapon, but soon after expand to your mindset as a player. What prevents me from calling this a full-fledged RPG is the fact that most of these choices don't matter too much for the game, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. What makes Kingdom Hearts special is its excellent unconventional crossover story. You play as a character named Sora, just a regular kid living with his friends Riku and Kairi on an island. You and your friends have a desire to eventually leave the island and explore the world, but that choice is made for you, and much sooner than expected, due to the Heartless invading your world and turning everything upside down. After finishing up the tutorial section on the island, you end up in a new unknown town. Friendship can be found in the most unlikely of places if you're willing to open your heart, and this unknown town is where you meet your new friends Donald and Goofy. This is where the game stops feeling like a Final Fantasy spin-off and that Disney magic kicks in. The humorous banter between Sora and his new partners is welcome throughout the game, and their almost naive optimism keeps the overall dark story from feeling too harsh or worrisome. Sora is the chosen one, the holder of the Keyblade, and with this Keyblade, his job is to visit iconic Disney worlds such as Wonderland from Alice in Wonderland or Agrabah from Aladdin, and seal their keyhole to prevent the heart of the world from being consumed by the Heartless. It sounds a bit confusing and over the top, but that's part of its charm. You also meet and get the help from a lot of iconic Final Fantasy characters on your journey, which is a nice touch. Although it was developed by Square Enix, the gameplay is very different from any of the Final Fantasy titles. Kingdom Hearts takes more of a hack and slash approach, and while the spells you use do come from Final Fantasy games, they feel completely different due to the game not having turn-based elements. I believe this change was done in an effort to make the combat less strategy-based and more easily accessible to children who like Disney, though it actually led to some of the most challenging boss fights I've ever experienced. I'd be lying if I said I expected Dark Souls levels of difficulty from this game, but that's really what the endgame reminded me of. The combat does feel clunky, and I'll admit that early in the game I was not a fan of it, but as you learn new abilities and progress your magic, there's a lot less button mashing required and it gets significantly more satisfying. The world building and level design in this game is masterful. Every world truly feels different from one another. In fact, stepping into a world almost feels like watching a deleted scene from the movie in which the world originates. This prevents the game from ever feeling stale even once during your roughly 25-hour journey. There are definitely some worlds that I found less enjoyable than others, specifically in the middle point of the game, Monstro and Atlantica, but even they have some of the most memorable story moments and boss fights, and they're followed by some of the best parts of the game. To get from one world to another, your mode of travel is the Gummy Ship. Traveling from one world to another starts a flying shooter minigame, which was definitely my low point of Kingdom Hearts. As someone who grew up playing Star Fox and Rogue Squadron, the gummy ship missions felt like an unpolished afterthought. Being able to upgrade your ship and make ridiculous designs was pretty cool though, and eventually you're given the ability to skip the minigame and warp between worlds, so it's not too bad overall. In typical Square Enix fashion, Kingdom Hearts has an extremely memorable soundtrack. The title screen song Dearly Beloved does an amazing job of encompassing the overall magical feeling of the game, and as a lover of music, I am thankful I get to enjoy the many variations of this track. Upon recently completing Kingdom Hearts for the first time, I was left satisfied, but also eager to see more. It made me fall in love with the characters in this game, and the Disney world all over again. Luckily for me, Kingdom Hearts 2 is widely regarded as the best game in the series, and there are about 10 other games in the franchise, so I'm sure I'll get my fix. I have so much more to say about this game and franchise, so don't be surprised if there is another Kingdom Hearts video down the road. So I just want to take a moment to say thank you to all of my subscribers. We just passed 100, and it absolutely blows my mind that many people care about my nostalgia-based content. I recommend playing one of the HD remasters of Kingdom Hearts, because these games are freaking hard, and they give you the option to skip cutscenes as well as some other quality of life improvements. If you're new to the channel, what I do here is I talk about old video games and then I give away a copy. So today I'll be giving away a copy of Kingdom Hearts 1.5 for the PS3. If you're interested in being entered, all you have to do is like the video, comment on it, and subscribe to the channel, and you'll be entered automatically. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, the strength of the heart can carry you through the hardest of trials.